is going on, everybody? Welcome to another iteration of Coffee with Casey. I'm joined by James today, no Jacob. He got us sick last time.
Yeah, he's not invited to these anymore.
He's gone.
No more.
No more.
No more sick.
So today we got some D&D, Dunkin'
Oh,
and
yeah,
Donuts.
we do.
And we're going to be talking about D today. Got some DD with some DD. And what do I mean by we're talking about some DD today? We're talking about Dungeon Defenders Awakened.
Yes, a third installment into my favorite tower defense series.
Mine as well. Floki.
I would honestly say it's just... I've never really been a big fan of tower defense games in general.
I love them. I love them. Absolutely love them.
Most of you guys haven't played them that many until I was introduced to Dungeon Defenders 1. Way back, and I think it was 2012.
It was a while ago.
It came out in 2011, the first one, but we played around 2012, 2013.
Somewhere around that, because we were in
freshman year.
Yeah, we're freshman year of high school.
So yeah, 2012, or no, that was 2011. We played right after the game came out, so
right around, yeah. We are making this video, this iteration of Coffee with Casey, to bring up to you guys the Dungeon Defenders Awakened. They have a Kickstarter going on right now. They have not asked us at all to talk about this. We just want to talk about this because we want this game backed, because we love Dungeon Defenders. The first one was phenomenal. The second one, it was pretty good for what it was. We'll get a little bit more into that. Yep. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about our experience with it, etc., etc. But right now, they have a Kickstarter. I'm going to be putting the link down in the description for it, because right now they're about like 80% being done with it. So, and I just recently backed them $100 to get some of the goodies they have going on.
Yeah, definitely support these devs.
Absolutely.
They are phenomenal. Their games, to me, have been, fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they've had a slip up yet, so.
Yeah, they have 18 days to go. They have $211,000 backed, and that's out of $250,000. And there's going to be extra goodies on their Kickstarter that they talk about if they do go over that goal. So again, head over to their Kickstarter, guys. It's absolutely worth the investment to backing them, because oh god,
if you're a fan of tower defense games,
absolutely. If you're a fan of tower defense,
scoop up the first one, give it a
try
try.
out the first one. I highly recommend it.
It's so much fun. We've spent hours on it.
Absolutely.
PC alone, Casey and I have put in 50 hours. That's just PC.
That's just on the Steam version, because we've played on the console for years.
Yeah.
Even after we stopped playing for a while, we went back to it years after that.
Mm-hmm. It's just it's one of those games. Honestly, I'll give you a good story. So way back when the game first came out, Casey, Dylan, and Orlando had all picked up the game. They were all playing it, whatever.
Yeah, we all played the trial, and we're like, oh, this game's great. We're gonna get this. We all got it, I think, that day or the next day, except James.
Yeah, no. So I ended up playing the trial, and let me tell you, I liked the game so much, I played the trial for at least 20-25
and the
hours.
The trial only gave you
Foundries and Forges.
And
the ogre, or no, there was one challenge that was also Foundries and Forges. I think it was Defend the Ogre.
The Ogre was.
It was Defend the Ogre.
Foundries and Forges, dude. He literally got to what, level 20 or 25 or something?
It's 28, almost 30.
Sorry, level 28 just playing on that one map in the trial. So by the time he got the game, the dude's got all this gear and all these levels. He's like, all right, guys, I'm ready to play. You've been living on Foundries and Forges.
Yeah, which is funny because there was still a level before that, the Deeper Well, which you would have thought they'd have you start on that map.
You would think, because Deeper Well is the first one, but I guess that wouldn't be a really good introduction to the game because it's pretty easy.
It's
Foundry
true.
and Forges is that happy medium.
3 lanes.
Three lanes to defend the one crystal, so it's pretty good starter. But James literally lived on that level for God knows how long.
It did. And what's funny is I'd always see Casey, Dylan, Orlando on a map called the Summit. And whenever I would see the Summit, I don't know why, but I had this in my head. It was like Skyrim's high Hrothgar type setting, on a mountain covered in snow and everything. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, that's what you would think a Summit would be.
Mm-hmm. And then when I started playing it, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is I wasn't disappointed. I was just it was nothing like I expected it to be. I was like, this is crazy, but
this is crazy.
The game is just so fantastic.
It absolutely is, because we sunk so much time in just the base game on the console alone. They didn't really have a whole lot of DLC going on for the console. They were announcing, like, teasing characters, but not a lot of people played on the console version. They played more along on the Steam version.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually down the road, once we all got, computers, we decided to get the Steam version because we love the game so much.
My favorite character to this day is still the Summoner. He's literally just... I would kind of give him like an RTS type feel where you get to control minions instead of like towers, and you can move them around and attack. So he's more, and he's very interactive. Me and Casey played on hard once on
We were
PC.
playing the Summit on hard.
Yeah, we were trying to get a whole hard campaign.
It was
hardcore too.
Yeah, it was hardcore. I was
Barbarian.
Did I put my Squire towers down?
Yes.
I put my Squire tower
and Apprentice as well.
Probably. Yeah, I put the lightning towers down on the lower level, and I used the spike blockades. But I recently found out the Apprentice, what is it? The wall, the magic barrier. When the minion that has an elemental effect on them hits it, they get hit for that damage.
I thought they lose their elemental effect.
And they do.
Oh, okay.
But they also get hurt for that damage.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know about that for a long time either.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Because I saw a minion hit it and he just died. All right. I'll take that.
That's actually great for the Apprentice, too, considering his towers. Because the electric tower's broken. They hit it with an electrical element.
Towers so good.
They're gone.
But I did the Squire and Apprentice towers, and then I swapped to the Viking. And James was the summoner. And... what was it, 50-something minutes, 54 minutes?
Mind you, this was, it was about 10-15 minutes through the regular waves. It was about 40 minutes on just the boss, because Casey was an underleveled barbarian. He didn't have amazing gear for weapons. And again, the dragon, when you're trying to fight the dragon without like a huntress or something, or an apprentice who can shoot ranged, you have to hit him with these little javelin things to knock him down. So he actually resets and goes to one of the side platforms. Mm-hmm. And both James and I, we're not geared or leveled for hard at all. First of all, I can't engage him.
He can't engage. He is like garbage health.
I do. I have like 2,000.
On a high max level.
Yeah, no, the summoner's health maxes out at like 2,000.
He's like...
Because he's not supposed to engage, so they're like, well, you don't need health. Summoner.
Yeah, the summoner has like no health. Mm-hmm. You're not going to build health into a summoner. That's silly.
You can't.
That's so silly.
You build it into... The way I did it, I built it into caster rating and I think minion health and damage.
Yeah.
So I could summon them really quickly and they could sustain, because the summoner gets access to all the minions that you can get. The ogres, warriors, mages... The only thing he doesn't get is kobolds, which makes me sad. That'd be awesome if I could just launch them in, but...
Go!
He's a lot of fun. By comparison, I've always been Abathur and Heroes of the Storm. How he doesn't directly engage, but he can do a lot of stuff on the battlefield. Because I was healing towers,
James was healing them, repairing them. I was trying my goddamn hardest to get that dragon.
I would summon warriors to come help Casey, because they do a lot of damage.
But then they just get destroyed because he uses fire breath and just...
Yeah, they're gone.
Good.
It was definitely a difficult, just a difficult challenge, mostly because we were on a level. Usually you don't struggle, but that's...
When you only have one guy, because James couldn't switch because we started the round. So
no,
it was
can't switch
just
characters.
Me with my dinky 2 swords trying to slap him. Like, come here.
Come here, gonna plug up those eyes.
That nose is still breathing.
But yeah, no, the first game is just... It's a fantastic game.
I think it was absolutely ahead of its time, honestly.
It really
for
was.
what it was.
Because most tower defense games, it's like an overlay of the map. You build your towers and just defend stuff and upgrade and whatever.
And
this
you just
game,
go next wave.
You control a character and have like a direct influence onto the game. You can go around
control your character.
Stuff.
You get gear. You get weapons. You can level. You can upgrade your stats, which they have all this new stuff that they're doing for the DDA game, and I absolutely can't wait for it to come out. It's coming around like October-ish. They're saying this year.
We're back. Sorry, minor things.
Minor things.
Gave me a mini heart attack.
Minor things, not technical things, but minor things. James had a little technical difficulty on his side, but that's okay. Now, the first one, we played that one religiously, yada, yada, yada. The second one, we hopped into it a little bit... No, we did go into it kind of right away, honestly.
It was, a little bit after.
It was early. It was when it was still in beta, actually.
Yes.
That's when we played it.
We had a Let's Play going on for a little while.
For a little bit, till we stopped.
Reasons I did not have a good computer to capture stuff with, so...
Eventually, his computer just died.
Yeah, and then it died. But I would, at some point, like to just try to play through it again and get a feel. Because I haven't completely played through the game. The thing with the second game for me is it's a little bit different from the first one. Some ways good, some ways I would say a little bad.
Yeah, excuse me. It does things good, it does things bad. The good things it does is upgrades to the way it plays and graphics and whatnot. Like, the heroes are super more way interactive. But the bad part of that is I feel like they're way too much in the front, and it's not really about the towers, because the towers are pretty much just kind of there. Your heroes can be, like, supercharged at this point. Like, they feel like they're too powerful because of all the powers they have. But that's just my opinion on that. I personally like the balance of the first game where your heroes did make an influence on the lanes, but not to the extent that I feel like the second game does.
Yeah.
Because, like, the Squire, for example, he has he can put a ridiculous amount of damage out. He has the seismic slam, the sword slash, and he can provoke people to taunt them and increases speed and attack damage. And I could literally, like, one-shot a wave with my seismic slam. I'm like, oh, okay.
He's, the way, like, there's a lot more stuff, too. There's a lot more things to upgrading. There's these,
Yeah, and I like how they handle the upgrading, like keybinds and whatnot. That's really helpful, the selling the keybinds so that I'll have set. I love that. Super quick.
The only thing I had an issue with the upgrading is the level 10 max for all items, like with your gold. Like, you can only upgrade to level 10. At least, what I played. I don't know if that changed in later in the game, but...
You can upgrade things, and you can even, like, have, like, old items, like, low item levels, and upgrade the item levels for it so they can scale with you. So if you have a good legendary that was, like, lower level, that's what I have for my summoner on that game. You know, a legendary that was, like, had a special right-click to it that made, like a fissure in the ground and burned enemies and did damage, and then damage over time. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Too bad it's low item level. But then I found out you can upgrade it. I'm like, oh, lit. But it takes materials to upgrade it, and that's what you need to do is go into the chaos level of the difficulties, where the harder levels. Monsters. So you can get those items, and it'll require gold. You can also use defender medals to upgrade it too. To me, it was just a little more confusing. It was like, because the first game is very straightforward upgrading. It was you spend mana was like everything. Mana was your towers, and mana was your currency. So you use your mana, upgrade your items. It was stupid easy. Second game they changed a little bit. I personally, that's a change I didn't like, but yeah, that's one of the changes. I know the game's free to play, which is really cool, and they're just doing updates with it being free to play. But with free to play comes the issue of it feels grindy.
Yeah, a lot of free to play games add in a lot more grindy stuff.
Because defender medals, like they gave you dailies. But I think you need like 10,000 defender medals to get a new hero.
Some of them are more than that.
And some are like 15,000. Like the max amount of defender medals you get is like 15,000. I think some of them are like that. And eventually got to the point where I didn't want to keep grinding. I was close to getting one, but I didn't want to keep grinding. So I just ponied up $20 to buy some in-game currency and got the summoner. And I was having more fun. But then that's the thing, that's the issue.
Yeah, that was kind of a problem. It was one of those games. For me, it was like Warframe. Warframe's it was a fun game here and there, but the grind was, to me, it was absurd. But it's a free to play game, and I'm not bashing on Warframe. It's a phenomenal game, phenomenal devs, great team. But it has the free to play grind to it, and you want to get more Warframes and stuff. We have to buy slots for Warframes. You have to grind parts for Warframes.
That's what you have to do for DD2.
Yeah.
You gotta buy character card slots. You can't just make as many heroes as you want. You gotta buy an extra slot. but you can only have 4 people to your party.
Yeah, the thing I did give Warframe credit though is that they have a very active like market. Like they have plat. It's like you can buy platinum.
Yeah.
But you can also grind stuff, sell it. Like it's a really cool market. Almost like World of Warcraft's gold market thing, and it's items.
Like the auction
it's really
house
cool
and everything. If you want to go get your materials and then sell in the auction house, and then somebody like doesn't want to get them, they can buy them.
Yeah, no, Dungeon Defenders 2, it's just the grind was definitely there, and that kind of turned me away a little bit because after like the first levels you do and you fight, I think it's the Wyvern boss.
Yeah, I honestly
scales.
I think the Wyvern boss, I think that was like the only story part that we got.
But I think it was more like a tutorial, like
and then they added in like different sections that were like smaller stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really feel like a big story. They're like separate, different adventures. It felt like. I like the whole one go of like Dungeon Defenders 1. DD2, it felt like, all right, we did this one, so let's go to this area now, and then let's go to this area. It's like it doesn't feel like it's connected.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if that's just me from when we played it and when I played it now, because I really just outgeared the levels that I was doing. So I hope with DDA, they look towards more what they did with DD1, but with some of the aspects of DD2.
Yeah. The thing I did like about DD2 is I did like the how they made your team like an entire party thing, and you could swap between them in-game.
That's a nice feature.
And
it's a super nice feature.
I like that. I think that feature is a cool feature that should be kept. I like the rework of the Huntress a lot. Personally, DD2's Huntress is like light years better than DD1's Huntress.
Every hero is pretty much better.
What I like though is that the Huntress and the Monk, they got
huge
far
rework.
better. The Monk got an amazing defender tower that shoots down stuff in the sky that rotating.
The Sky Dragon tower thing.
That thing is phenomenal. And the Huntress got her little poison dart tower. Like they reworked these characters, and I solely played the Huntress. I love the Huntress.
I love the Squire.
She is phenomenal.
Squire's my favorite, absolutely, hands down.
Mine's not just because she has that little fireball, and I think it increases damage or she spreads like oil or something.
Yeah, she can throw an oil canister thing, and if you use the Phoenix, it can do fire damage to the people affected by the oil, which is a cool effect.
Yeah, she does a mass amount of damage. So
and that actually works with any fire damage, really. If it's on a hero or a tower, and if she throws oil, they'll get lit on fire. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They'll do elemental damage now. Yeah, like I said, I hope they kind of model it after DD1 and take a lot of the better aspects of DD2 and make DDA just that much better. It's kind of almost like with like Smash Brothers. Because I love Melee.
Yep.
And then like Nintendo wanted to do something with it. They tried Brawl. They're like, okay, that wasn't the one. And then 4 came out. They were like in that like realm, like, okay, there's better aspects than there was from Brawl, but it's not quite like.
It's not there. They're tweaking it. They're getting
Ultimate
there.
is where they got it right. That's where it wasn't insanely fast, but it wasn't like sluggish.
Yeah, no, it was a good mix.
And that's like they found their balance between what they wanted, and for the roster they have, the game's stupidly balanced.
Yeah, I would honestly argue it's one of the most balanced fighting games that I've seen, because again, all the characters, everybody seems viable. Everybody seems like you can use them.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. That's like stupid rare, but they finally got that that happy medium. And so I'm hoping DDA finds that happy medium with this.
Yeah, because Dungeon Defenders 2, it was a slight disappointment from the first game. I will say that.
Yeah, from jumping from the first to the second, you're like, okay, this was fun. It's not what I kind of expected.
It was a more flashy fun. It was very more
flash in the pan.
It did not have a lot of longevity to me. I mean, you can have the daily quests and the grind, and but to me, like that kind of grind isn't like, it doesn't make me want to come back and play, because it makes me feel like I gotta come back and just grind the game.
Yeah, that's how I kind of felt like I wanted to play the game. I want to play the new heroes they had, like the Lavamancer and
he looks pretty cool. I've seen
like the rework of the Barbarian and the Summoner. But like I didn't want to grind all those points, dude.
No,
because you got like 300, 450 for a daily, and then you can get like 3 dailies, and then you have a weekly, and it's like, I don't want to have that mentality of like, oh, better go do my dailies. Yeah, sure you could argue that about WoW, but I don't do dailies in WoW. I just do PvP. That's what I love to do. I just love to kick people's asses.
Yeah, I would like them to I kind of want them to take the daily and weekly system and maybe put it towards like loot or something where like you can grind out, like you can do these. And
I don't
you can get, like,
want
a legendary item.
See, I want, but don't want. I don't want the real money currency deal, because I feel like that honestly kind of ruins some games.
It does.
Especially when they like, oh, well, grind these things. If they,
I don't like a system where you can bypass like that's where I say like I don't like it where
go
you
ahead
can,
like if you want to add in like cosmetics, stuff like that.
Fine.
That's perfectly fine. But things that would like having to buy a new hero, I don't like the whole buying in-game currency to buy a hero in the game.
Just let me buy the hero.
Just let me either
like
buy it
BD1.
or unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. Like maybe like complete all the challenges. You get this hero. I would love that.
Yeah,
that's something to work towards. Or like beat these certain levels on the hardest difficulty, and you get this hero. It's kind of like when you had to unlock the gear for certain challenges. Like, oh, like, hey, you know you can get this the Blasticus from doing this challenge. It's like one of the best hunter weapons.
Too.
You're like, oh shit, I need to get that. That's a really good weapon.
It was.
It was one of the best hunter's weapons.
And same with the Squire, the fists.
The high five.
The high five.
They had the high five and the flame warden. Those are the two best Squire weapons.
The flame wardens from beating the final boss.
The summit on Insane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Insane. No, I think it's just beating it, because I think you get it on hard too. It's just a lower weapon. But the high five is for beating Ogre Crush on hard only.
Hard only.
Hard, because Insane gives you, I think, a Huntress weapon.
Yeah, because the difficulties give you different ones.
Yes. And that's also a great weapon. But like, yeah, challenges like that, it's always like a lot of games will do that. Like, I just don't like currency where you can bypass a grind for like something that's like essential to the game.
Yeah, because that's not really fun.
Like, yeah, skins to me completely fine. I don't care. I've always said I don't mind skins in games you have to pay for.
I don't mind skins
as long as they're not absurd.
Cosmetics, I don't mind. Like $5, it's fine.
Yeah, $5, $10, that's cool.
If you're like in the $15 range, get away from me.
If you start pushing like 15, 20, is when I start to have a little bit of a pushback.
Like, all right, stop.
Paladins is kind of like that. It's another free-to-play game. Like, but then again, like, you can also grind and you have dailies that give you stuff. But their skins. I understand why. Like, their skins are very not pay to win, but just.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You have to pay for them.
Pay the win skins.
Unlocking characters is relatively quick, but yeah, no. I would like them to kind of take that daily, weekly thing and bring it back, because I will say the first game you kind of did run out of like
stuff to do once you completed everything.
Yeah, like once you beat the whole game and like do all the challenges and stuff, it's like, well,
what do I do now?
I don't know what to do. There's not really no more incentive to come back.
Yeah.
Granted, it takes a lot of hours to do that, but I would kind of like it so you have stuff to grind towards, even if you start finishing stuff. While you wait for like if they're gonna do like a roadmap,
or maybe like a new monthly challenge every month. It's something new every month they add in, or like maybe like a community week or something.
Yeah, granted, I know in our last Coffee the Case we also obviously talked about games and like the roadmaps. I still want like a whole solid game in the front. And
absolutely.
I hope like their DLC's like later afterthought thing. Like I just want solid launch, which
solid launch. I trust them completely. The first game absolutely brought it 100%. You got all the maps, all the challenges straight out the gate. Mm-hmm. Second game, it was more gradual process because they did a alpha and then a beta. But this was also their second game from the first Dungeon Defenders, so they were trying something different. Yeah. So this time they're kickstarting it, which right away go back it. They're kickstarting it. So I only have they're doing a closed beta though. That's the thing. They're not doing open beta, so they're doing a closed beta. So I'm hoping they just do closed beta launch.
Yeah, and take the feedback from people, which, like I said, I
pretty sure they're doing alpha too. Maybe, I don't know, but they have closed beta, which we're gonna be doing.
We're gonna be streaming that
because I have 4 beta keys, so I'm gonna give them to my buds, and we're all gonna stream that together.
And then when the game comes out, we're going to stream it.
We're going to stream it.
This is going to be like one of those games, kind of like We Were Here, like one of those games where we want to do stuff with it.
Yeah.
Because, it's interesting concept and something that we've also played before.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. That's what we wanted to talk about. I want to give you our experience with the past of Dungeon Defenders 2, and hopefully see you all in the future of DDA, Dungeon Defenders Awakened. We are going to be streaming that when it comes out in October, estimated time for that, at twitch.tv/OCDGaming90. So please go ahead and go follow that, because I'm streaming at the moment, currently on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. I stream Smash Brothers Ultimate Melee and World of Warcraft. I'm going for Road to 2200 rating in arenas. But yeah, we just want to give you our perspective on what we think about the game, and we also want to tell you about the Kickstarter, so you guys can go back to that and get some pretty good things going on. And once again, if you haven't played the other two and you're unsure about backing this, go play the first one, play through the game. You guys won't be disappointed, honestly.
Yeah. At this point, it's relatively cheap. It might be like $15-20 on
Absolutely.
Steam.
It has to be.
I do also recommend scooping the characters and their DLC maps, because the entire game is just...
It's fun. It's just fun.
I give it a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, dude, same, actually.
I mean, it's a little biased, yes, but to me, it's a 10 out of 10. Realistically speaking, I'd give it like an 8, 9 out of 10 for tower defense.
If being realistically and not full biased, I would have to say maybe 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10, because it's not a perfect game.
No, it did have its flaws.
Because you have four heroes, and then you just have your maps and then your challenges. Mm-hmm. And that's an 8.5 out of 10. That's relative. That's a super good score.
You'll
honestly,
get good amount of hours out of it. I'd say you could get 60, 70.
Like if it was like a 9, that would maybe be like, I don't know, maybe extra more levels, a little bit different things to do, like a boss rush or something.
I'd say the complete game. With all the DLCs, probably 9,
yeah.
9.5.
Yeah,
and then base game is about 8. But either way, I definitely recommend scooping it on Steam.
Yeah.
One of their sales would probably drop in price.
Oh, yeah. Probably $5 at that point.
I know the second one's free to play, but the first one is the one you need to play first.
Yeah.
Don't start with the second. Not bad, just don't start with the second. Start with the first. But yeah, that's about all we needed to talk about.
So... don't forget to subscribe, guys. I want to thank you all for watching this, or listening to it, I should say. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video. Comment down below what you guys think about this. Don't forget to check out the Kickstarter as well. Don't forget to share the video around on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Reddit, you name it. Share it wherever you want with the hashtag #CoffeeWithCasey. And tag me in it if you want to. I'll retweet and all that good stuff. So once again, thank you all for watching. Hopefully I catch you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.
See you later.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Casey of OCDGaming. I want to thank you all once again for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing to the channel. It'll really help us out a whole lot. If you want to see more by us, go ahead and check out our recent uploads and check out our playlist. You'll find tons of more content there. Once again, thank you all for watching. Hopefully we catch you all on the next video. Take care, everybody.